Hello, I'm Jessica Moody. I am the Director of Programs for Create Birmingham.
I am Jackie Jones. I am the Community Engagement Manager for Create Birmingham.
And we are here today to talk about Birmingham365.org and what a powerful resource and tool it is for small business owners and artists and makers and everybody.
Yes, I know I go there all the time looking for events and such. But as a business owner, I also put a bunch of stuff on there. So let's check it out.
So the first thing, if you'll go to Birmingham365.org, and Jackie is showing her screen, which is very helpful. You can start. If you don't have an account, you can click register. If you don't know if you have an account, you can always email us. We definitely don't want multiple people with the same account because that gets very confusing. So if you're unsure if your organization or your business has an account, just shoot us an email, info@createbirmingham.org. But if you are setting it up for the first time, you can start by clicking register in that gray box, and it'll take you to this little web page, and you can start filling out this form. So it's pretty easy to just go ahead and fill it out and sign up. If you do have an account, then you can start by clicking that login button right next to it. And it will take you to this site. So again, it tells you if you need your information to shoot us an email. Jackie already has an account, so she's going to go ahead and log in. The main requirement for submitting an event on Birmingham365 is that it is open to the public with or without a fee. So it can't be a members only event. It can be ticketed, of course. They don't have to just be free events. They just have to be open to the public. So not student only. You can't have to attend UAB. Once we get there, once you're logged in, you'll click that button on the bottom that says create new event. As a note, if you are submitting multiple events at a time, there is an option for you to bulk import. And if you're interested in that, then we can set you up with that as well. So we'll enter a fun event name. We'll call it Coffee with Jessica. If we can spell. So this is a weekly event. So Jackie does submit it regularly. You don't have to type in. So if you do have it somewhere else, maybe a Word document, or it's on your website, you can go in, cut and paste. And but for today, we'll just say it's a weekly event. And we'll move on. So that the event summary is the very top blurb. It'll show up kind of bold. You don't want your event summary and your event description to be the same because they'll show up and it'll look silly. So it just needs to be kind of a like upbeat, bold. Think of it as like a subheader. As a note, I think everybody should download the Grammarly
yes.
plugin for your extension.
That's the green G, y'all. If y'all are wondering what we're talking about, it keeps getting me together.
Well, it saves you from posting silly things on Facebook all the time. Then your event description is where your longer description goes. You can describe. I mean, it can be long. It can be 2 paragraphs. It can be 4 paragraphs. But you just want to let people know what it actually is, what they're looking for. Give them the bulk of that information right there. So for the sake of today, we're just going to do kind of a short little excerpt, but. It's a weekly Zoom meeting with individuals, creative entrepreneurs, because we all spell that wrong word
every time,
all the time. And then if you do have, if it's an official event website, you can link that as well. So now we have an option for virtual and online streaming events, or if it is in person. So we welcome you to submit those virtual events. We know that a lot of things aren't happening in person right now. So link those on there. So it's a Zoom link. So I don't think we have it right now, so we don't have to, but you could link people to our website.
I have no clue if this is correct, but clearly somewhere I have a random Zoom link in here. So we're just gonna I'll delete it after we're done. Where'd it go?
Well, I think you could probably just do Create Birmingham if you want. There you go. And then you're going to put in your presenting organization. So I always suggest checking to see if it's registered before trying to add a new organization. Even if you are a new account, you don't have to have a new organization in there. So Jackie is going to select Create Birmingham because that's who's presenting it. And then she doesn't need to click any other button. If you do have a co-presenter, so maybe it's if we're presenting it with 1 Degree Marketing, then she can add herself in there as well. And then the venue information. So if it is virtual, you can just start typing and it'll find it, or it's online virtual space. So that's where our venue is. If you are in person, you'll select what venue you're actually meeting in. And then there's several different options for categories. So you'll pick like a primary category. So we'll call ourselves
let's call ourselves health and wellness. Well, online streaming.
Streaming, yeah. So honestly, it doesn't matter what your primary category is. It's not going to help you be found any better than any other category. You just need at least one.
That's a good note.
Select anything else. So Coffee with Jessica is really helpful for people within that who are artists and makers. So we could select that art and stage category. It's also great. We can call ourselves classes and lectures. We can also call ourselves health and wellness. It is open for co-starters graduates, so we can click that I'm a co-starters graduate buck. And then we're tech, well, I guess it's not really tech and innovation. That's kind of it. I would suggest, so, or I guess we could do eat and drink, but it's okay. You can also add tons of tags in here. So we could call it coffee, we could call it entrepreneurship, small business, startup, all sorts of tags. So you'll type one and then you can either hit enter, or I think you can just hit the add tag button. And this is just what helps you be found. So on the Birmingham365.org public side, when people are searching events, it'll search these tags, but it also searches the event description. So you just want to make sure that anything that people are going to search is found in this tag. And then if there's any additional information, it's free, open to the public. You can also add prices and information like that. Click here to join. So sometimes we use this and then link in there. So just like on your website, you can enter links and hyperlink through here. And yeah, so we'll start with that. And then I think we can also add, if there's a ticket website where people are actually buying tickets, then you can link that. I wouldn't use it if it's free because the link says click here to buy tickets, and it's a little confusing if your event is free. If there's an email where people can buy tickets, you can put that in there. If there's a phone number where people can buy tickets, you can do that as well. Under here is accessibility information. So this is where all of that sort of stuff is. This is primarily for in-person events, but if your Zoom does show closed captioning, you could click that. If you are wheelchair accessible, you want to make sure you have that. So this is where all of that accessibility stuff is. And then my suggestion is to upload. You want to make sure that so yes, you have to upload an image that you have the rights to use. So don't make sure if you're pulling it off of Google Image that you know what the image is before somebody tells you to take it down. So you're going to upload an image. You want to start with a JPEG. The best one is to look at that. It's already. What you want to start with is either a horizontal image or a square. So I think it pulls in automatically on as a square image, but this one will be cropped in a way that will look good. If you do have a video link, you can share that as well. You can't upload videos, but if you have the YouTube or the Vimeo link, then you can add that. You can kind of skip below the artist stuff. And then contact information gets pulled in automatically because Jackie is already a user, but she's going to have that in there as well. And then she will, once she fills this in, she'll proceed to step 2. If you don't have...
We did this part, but let's just go back to selection list.
Yeah, if you do click add new venue and you don't type anything in there, then there is a little error. If you don't have time to submit the whole thing right now, you can always save it as a draft and then come back later. Start date, so you'll click that little calendar icon and it'll pop up. So we'll put this in for Monday the 1st. And you'll check what day of the week it is. If you're doing it for a long time, so let's say this is an art exhibit or a show, you can do the entire like 6-week run and select which days of the week the event actually is. Or if you want to do it, if it's every Mondays, if it's running as a suggestion, if it's running weekly for however long, you could probably do it for a month at a time. So that you don't have to come in and do it every Monday. So we will, Jackie's going to say that it's next Monday, and then she'll say, okay, and then scroll down below and she will start selecting some times. So
I did it for a couple weeks just so we can show that as well. So
you can select that start time, which is 9 a.m. and you'll make sure that it says 9 a.m. and not p.m. And then you'll do an end time, which is 10 a.m. The default is to pull in it as PM, so you want to make sure that people don't know that it's not a 13-hour event. And you can check that box that says apply times to all dates, and you can see below that it says 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on all of those. If you mess up, you can click that little button above that says clear all and then do them again, but we won't because we did it right the first time. If there is, if you're doing an event that has 2 different runs or it has an intermission or anything like that. If there's a pre-reception, you can put those sort of information in here. But we don't really have any. So you can, yeah, after event info. And then
thank you, Grammarly.
Thanks, Grammarly. we should get a sponsored post.
We should.
And then we'll proceed to step 3. Again, if you're unable to finish, you can click Save Draft. So this gives you a little preview. You can see where it shows up as the little weekly touch base in this coronavirus craziness. That's our little subheader. And then we have our description. And then you can just check and make sure all that information is correct. So those are all of the dates we picked. It's only pulled in Mondays. It does link to our official website. And you can see all of that accessibility information. Once it all looks good, you just hit submit listing. And then it does go to a proofing. So we will make sure that you don't have any crazy grammar errors or that you're not submitting from Birmingham, England, which happens more often than you think. And as a helpful tool, so because we submit this event regularly, Jackie can actually hit that copy button the next time she wants to submit it, and it pulls in the majority of the information. All she has to do is change the dates, which is very, very helpful. So that all she has to do is kind of pull this up, change the dates, and then move on from there. This is great for really the majority of events, especially if your venue isn't changing, the organization, the categories aren't changing. Maybe you're just changing the date and the description. It'll save you a lot of time. You do have to upload the image again, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect.
I think that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle.
I think so. So if you need any help submitting events, just reach out to us. Our email address is info@createbirmingham.org. And yeah, we look forward to seeing your events on there.